PSA Reloaded, man. It's your boy 3-Letter Man. Subscribe to the channel. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram. Y'all see where to follow your boy at. Hit the like button also. I appreciate that, man. Y'all see the title of this one, man. Let's talk about it, man. I did not know that Joe Budden or Podcast Joe and NBA Youngboy YB would be on my bingo card on a Sunday evening. I did not expect me to have a blog right here talking about Joe Budden versus NBA Youngboy. Where do we start? Okay, obviously Joe Budden went on this podcast, and Joe has to know that once he makes a comment like this against YB, the people are going to come out and say what they got to say, whether it's the young folks who rock with YB, right? Or people that feel what Joe is saying, right? And then you have YB now responding to Joe Budden. We'll get into that in a minute. I guess somebody asked Joe, are you ready to tell the truth about NBA Youngboy? The truth. The only truth I know is Beanie Siegel, The Truth song. It ain't no there, man. And Joe Budden made sure he said that YB was horrible. He used the word horrible. Now, I guess the question I'll ask you guys, are you surprised Joe said this? Why? Because, yeah, he'll take shots at Logic and other people. We've seen him go at the Migos and Little Yachty before the podcast got where it's at right now. I felt after those situations and Joe's harsh words critiquing those NBA Youngboy, the Migos and Little Yachty and stuff like that, that now he would take a light on the young generation, maybe even use the word PC on certain people that he talks about. Because I feel sometimes Joe Budden be bigging up artists that I know back in the day, he wouldn't even get a rat's ass playing, right? But to call YB horrible, he had to know people are going to talk. And people are talking. And he said NBA, YB's trash. Said really, 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 really trash. That's about 5 reallys with the trash at the end of it, right? Now, do I listen to NBA Youngboy? No, I don't. That's not my cup of tea. That's my son and his friends of their age group, young gentlemen. That's YB is more their cup of tea. Kodak Black and all like that. I'm more of a, if I had to rock with the younger generation, I rock Kodak or Yak would be the guy that I rock with a little bit of stuff. Living here in Florida, I'm close to the situation when it comes to Kodak, so I know what he means to South Florida, right? I'm not saying I don't know what YB means to hip-hop culture, period, because that man has a big fan base. Did he break a record or something? Albums being sold? He did some wild numbers, and was that 50 Cent number? Like when 50 did 1.4 in how many days? Something like that I remember reading from YB a couple of years ago. He did some astronomical numbers and stuff like that. So, credit to that young man that he's able to come from the trenches of Louisiana, I believe, home of Lil Boosie, and, Soulja Slim, stuff, RP Soulja Slim, and, Lil Wayne and all that, But he's able to, YB's been in Utah for a while now. I think there's a backstory, and I don't remember the backstory, why he's in Utah and stuff like that. But, here's the thing. How much inspiration can you get in Utah? It's like when Kanye was doing his album in Idaho, bringing people to Idaho, where the hell he was at? Like, listen, man. I don't understand what YB says half the time when he's rapping. So when I try to partake in his music and see what the hype is about, I don't get it. And maybe at my age, I'm not supposed to get it. And I respect that. I say this all the time. Yeah, Jay-Z's my favorite rapper. But do I expect the young generation to look at Hove the way I look at Jay? No, I don't expect that. I don't expect that. I don't expect other regions, people from Atlanta or Alabama or Chicago to rock with Jay the way I rock with Jay. I'm from New York City. I'm from Brooklyn, New York. Jay might not hit y'all the way he hits me. And that's understandable. That's okay. Now, do the young people like YB's persona or they like his raps. That's the thing I guess I would have for the young world. Do they like his persona or the raps, or two things can be true? Now I see people saying YB should, drop a diss track towards Joe Budden. He didn't drop a diss track, but he had a few words aimed at Joe Budden. Now, y'all have some people be like, who cares what Joe Budden has to say? Yes, you have that, right? Especially the young generation. That's not going to stop some people from listening to YB if they rock with him hard body like that, right? It's just now the shits and giggles. It's because Joe is going to reach. It's going to touch Shade Room. It's going to touch the internet. It's going to trend. And it's going to force YB to come out wherever you are and make a comment, whether it's verbally or whether you go to the booth. Now, do I look at YB going to the booth, getting at Joe Budden? Am I expecting that? No. I think Migos took a shot at Joe Budden years ago. They said, when you hate, that's Joe Budden or some shit like that. So, we'll never know. Right? Now, y'all might have some people who like or who doesn't care what Joe Budden has to say at all. And once again, I don't blame them people at all. The infamous line from Hitman Holla when he battled Averb, where he said, sit your old ass down, let a young nigga shine. Let a young nigga shine. And that's what some people would say, that us old folks who critique the young people and old versus new, region versus region. That's the thing in hip hop that I really don't like too much, the region versus region talk and this, that, and the third, and we do light skin versus dark skin. Some of our ideologies and the way we think about certain shit be retarded to me. But neither here nor there, that's how y'all give it up, whatever. Right? But it's always gonna be the young versus old, and if you're Joe's age, you don't have to feel young boy. You know what I'm saying? You're not. It's interesting because now you have some people say Joe is a failed rapper. What can a failed rapper tell a rapper that's selling units? And I think YB said that he's number 10 or top 10 when he just dropped a couple days ago, I believe. He said that a second ago. And Joe said the labels, try to he said the labels try to push NBA Youngboy. Now, the Jizza Genius had a song called Labels. You gotta read the labels, right? And you have some people, Joe, would say the labels, when you're a Def Jam, how hard do they push you? Def Jam did push Joe a little bit, though, but then you better Def Jam this. Neither here nor there, man. Right? So, NBA Youngboy has responded to Joe Budden. You know what I'm saying? He says, his album is still top 10. He said, don't rat on me. Make sure you don't rat on me. Don't rat on me. In the New Orleans accent, Louisiana accent. He said, your thing don't get hard. I don't do the pause game, but that was crazy, YB. This joint don't get hard with women. Bro, I'm not talking. That's, don't want to argue. I don't want to argue with your ass and every stuff like that. And come to Grave Digger Mountain if we're gonna have a real conversation. I'm thinking that's in Utah and stuff like that. And Joe gotta be loving this because now we're gonna be tuned in on Wednesday, right, to see if Joe is gonna respond to YB. He's probably not going to say nothing. We're all going to sit at a campfire waiting to see what Joe got to say. And he's probably not going to say nothing. He ain't going to say nothing that's out of here and nothing like, whoa. But I don't understand YB. Why you saying don't rat on me? Don't rat on me. What do you mean? Are you going to, pull up? Or you going to... Y'all got to stop incriminating yourselves on this internet. When you make comments like that, that sounds crazy. And also, I know Joe also had issues with the brother Dee1. And he said, they will shoot your Christian. That was kind of harsh when he put that out there, Joe. But listen, I know B-Dot, not the battle rapper, B-Dot from Rap Radar. Him and I had a conversation about Dee1 on Instagram Live a couple weeks ago and stuff like that. And I feel like even with B-Dot, he's not really jacking Dee1. It seems like he's not. Now, here's how you can look at it also. Is Joe the right person to drop a gem on Dee1, especially a person like Joe who's been in physical confrontation with other rappers, a la Raekwon and Chef, right? And stuff like that. So he's been in physical altercations and have a lot of rap beef throughout the years with people, right? So is he the right person to try to put the bug in D1's ear, like, you know, roll your roller coasters in my De La Soul voice? Can it be that? You know? There are people out here who do defend D1, you know? And I see people question, is D1 genuine with his messages that he dropped? How do you gauge if someone's being genuine or not? The energy is, how do you gauge it? You don't know. Sometimes you gotta take face value what somebody's saying. You know what I mean? So, I don't know, man. So, leave comments at the bottom, man. Tell me what y'all think about YB, Joe Budden's D1 situation. Is kind of crazy, man. It's your boy 3-1.